Hey guys, so today I'm doing this makeup look. Believe it or not, this is the new Peach palette. I know when before I got my hands on this palette, I was looking all over YouTube at all the videos and tutorials that were up with it. And most of them I found used this beautiful, gorgeous peach shade right here. Which of course, why would you not? Because this is the Peach palette. It's all about peach, so you probably would use that. I didn't use that for this look. I wanted something very different. I don't know, I just wanted to find a different way to feature this this eyeshadow palette. And to be quite honest, that peach color is really pretty, but it's not something I'm gonna wear a whole lot. So I created this look. It's very glamorous, but I still think it's very wearable. I've used a new Bite Beauty lipstick that I purchased that I talked about in my haul video. It was so pretty. It's so out of my comfort zone. So different than anything that I normally would wear, but I really dig it. I like it. And I'm surprised that I like it with a pretty dramatic eye, because when I bought this lipstick, I thought I would wear this with like very neutral, soft, minimal eyes. But I'm really liking it in this whole situation here. So anyway, if you want to learn how to get this makeup look and hear a little bit more about the Peach palette, then just keep on watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, just click up right here and you will get subscribed and you won't miss any future videos and all that fun stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, so I have been using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer for almost a week now. And I like it. I wasn't sure what I thought about it the first couple times I used it. I think the shade that I picked is a little, it's not too light, but I think the next one I'll buy, I'll go a little darker because I just prefer a little bit darker of a brow. And this kind of has more of like a really like soft, more natural look than the Brow Wiz or the brow powder, in my opinion. And so I think I just need a little darker one to get the intensity that I want. I mean, it looks good. I think just if I'm wearing it with a really dramatic or smoky or dark eye, it's not going to be enough. But the girl that checked me out at Sephora did warn me to kind of give it some time, that it might take me a good week or so of getting used to working with it. I don't really know what she meant by that. She didn't really elaborate, but she just told me to kind of, you know, figure out my favorite way to work with it. Okay, so next I'm going to prime my eyes, and I'm going to use my Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. I'm just going to put that all over my eyelids and underneath my eyebrow. Okay, so for the eyes, I'm going to try and exclusively use the Sweet Peach palette by Too Faced. This is what it looks like. I'm sure you guys have all seen this already. It's really, really beautiful packaging. I have to say that that was probably the most motivating factor for me to purchase this, because I need another eyeshadow palette. Like, I need another hole in my head. I have all these shades, but the packaging was just so cute. It does smell like peaches, like everyone says. It's pretty strong. It's a really strong fragrance of peaches. It smells good. They say it tastes like peaches. I haven't tasted it yet. I don't really have any desire to, but the color shade range is really pretty. It has a pretty wide range of shades. It has your lighter highlight shades over here, and I have to say that I really like these highlight shades a lot. This one is a perfect shade for underneath the brow. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's not super shimmery and frosty, but it does give like a little bit of brightness and like light reflective qualities to it without being too much, and it's bright enough, which I really like. And this is the most gorgeous, kind of like a light honey color. It's so pretty, really pretty gold. And then it has, you know, your neutral shimmery browns here, one with more pink, one with kind of more of an orange undertone. Then it has a really pretty soft matte pink, and then of course the staple peach here in the center, a really pretty shimmery pink, and then it has a really gorgeous shimmery moss green. This is like a really goldish pink. This is a great shade for your transition. It's a matte, really warm mid-tone brown. And then you've got a really orangey brown here, and then you've got your darker shades here for like liner or smoky, you know, making the eye more smoky. So it's a really great range of range of shades. I feel like if you're traveling, this is something you can just grab and you don't have to worry about anything else. It'll have you covered with just what's in here. So that's really great. I have all dirty brushes. I need to wash my brushes, but I'm going to start with the highlight, this shade White Peach. And oh, here we go. There we go. Just start with this shade. I'm just going to pop this right underneath my eyebrow. It's so pretty. It just has a really nice, pretty sheen to it. I love it. It's just the right amount of shimmer for under the brow. I don't like to go too shimmery there, but I don't like to go matte either. I'd like it to just look like the light is always hitting my brow bone right there. Okay. Next, I'm going to go in with my transition shade, and I am going to use this one here. It's called Puree. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Puree. It's right here. I'm going with this in a 224 brush by MAC, and I'm just going to pop this in my crease. When I'm doing my crease, I kind of like to look directly into the mirror. That way I get the color exactly where I want it. If you are too concerned with getting it like right where your actual crease is, depending on your eye shape, most of us, when we open our eyes, that color is going to just disappear because it's going to be right in your crease. So really the idea is to start in your crease but have the tapered end of the brush kind of diffuse that color up and give you like a little halo effect above your crease. That's really what you want. I pull this out a little bit to kind of elongate my eyes just a tad. These colors have really good payoff, but you can sheer them out too, so you can get a nice like sheer wash of color if you want, but you definitely can get a lot of color too if that's the look that you're going for. Okay, so next I need a little brush. Where's my little brush at? Take this guy here. Let's see, what are we gonna do next? Okay, so next I'm gonna take this, actually no, we're not gonna do that. Next, we're going to take this shade here. It's called Caramelized, and it's just a really pretty bronze shimmer, and I'm going to load that up on my brush, and I am going to really pack this all over my eyelid, but I'm going to leave the very inner corner of my eyelid bare because I'm going to brighten that area up a bit. Let's try this. That's better. I can see better that way. The light is so bright that it's kind of blinding me in my other mirror. Okay, next I'm going to go in with this shade here, Nectar, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of that and pop that right in my inner corner to highlight and brighten up my eyes quite a bit. All right, and then next I'm going to take this really warm reddish brown, and I'm going to pop this on top of that brown we put on the lid and also in the outer corner. If you have blue or green eyes, adding this color is really going to make your eyes jump out because this has a lot of red in it, and that's a complementary color to green. So when you put those two colors next to each other, they complement each other, right? If you put them on top of each other, they cancel each other out. So when you're thinking about color correcting, if you have a lot of like red in your skin, using a green color corrector, so like a green concealer product that you see in Sephora, if you're wondering what that's all about, putting that directly on top of the redness in your skin is going to cancel out that redness, and then you can put foundation on top of it and it's going to make everything look very even. The thing about color correcting though is it's really not for everybody. Like I've been seeing it a lot in Sephora lately, and I've been getting a lot of emails about it, and I think it's like a new trend, right? But I just want to make sure everyone knows that not everyone needs to color correct, you know, especially like color correcting is kind of in severe cases. So if you have like rosacea or a lot of really redness that concealer and foundation just won't cover up, that's when you use a color corrector, you know? So not everyone needs to go out and buy a color correcting palette because they're all over Sephora now. Don't do that. So yeah. Okay, for my liner, I'm going to use that, I'm going to use the Too Faced black eye pencil. It's just called Perfect Black by Too Faced. And I don't know if this one needs to be sharpened, does it? That's good. These are really creamy and soft. I really like these a lot. I'm not going to be too concerned with getting it perfectly straight because I'm going to go over this with eyeshadow anyway. This is just going to give my shadow a base so that it intensifies that shadow. For that base, let's see, what are we going to do? We're going to use this Peach palette again, and let's do this Talk Derby to Me. That's a cute name. It's called Talk Derby to Me, and it's this like rich purple with red flecks of sparkle to it. So we're going to go directly on top of that eyeliner. And we're going to smoke it out a little bit more on the outer corner I don't want to smoke it too much in the inner corner because I want to keep that brightness there. I don't want to cover that brightness. So I'm just going to kind of smoke it in the outer corner, just like that. I'm going to cover this up with lashes anyway, so I'm not too concerned with it looking perfect or obsessing over it, because once that lash band sits on it, it's going to make it all look good anyway and tie it together. Okay, now let's kind of highlight under the eye a little bit and also brush away any fallout that we might have just gotten from that eyeshadow. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I'm just going to use this little It Cosmetics concealer brush. And I'm just going to pop that underneath my eyes, brush away any fallout, and subtly brighten up that eye area. Okay, so let's get some lashes on. I'm going to go back to my Kiss Blooming Lashes. You guys know I love these. I'm going to use the same ones I used in my last video, actually my last few videos. I've gotten a lot of uses out of these specific lashes right here. So as long as you keep them in a clean place and you just kind of clean off the glue that you used from before, I've gotten maybe 5-6 uses out of these already. So pretty not bad for $6 lashes. Alright, so let me pop these on real quick. Pretty. Alright, I'm liking this. I think I am gonna take up my crease color just a tad. Now that I have the lashes on, I think I have a little bit more room to, you know, make it a little bit more dramatic. So I'm gonna take those two colors, Puree and Super Yum, which are the two shades here, and I'm just gonna mix those two together really softly and lightly. I don't want too much. I don't want it to be too dark. Okay, I'm gonna just do that. That's it. I'm not gonna get carried away with it because I could easily do that. All right, so I'm gonna move on to my cheeks and lips and then come back and finish my lower lash line. For cheeks, I'm gonna use the new Cheekathon palette by Benefit. I love this palette. And I'm gonna use, I already have my bronzer on. I use the Chanel bronzer. So I'm gonna just use, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do Coralista and I'm gonna mix it with Dallas. I'm gonna mix the two of those together and pop those on my cheek. Kate, my girlfriend Kate mentioned how these are real sheer on her. So you might want to use a brush that's a little bit more dense versus a brush that's like really airy and light because it's going to pick up more product. So if you find that this palette doesn't apply enough product or it's really sheer, try using a more dense brush. Alright, so for lips, I think I'm going to do something fun. And it might be a little off and might not match this look at all, but I got this with part of my VIB Rouge set. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do the Bite lipstick. Yeah, we're going to do the Bite lipstick. The Bite Beauty Gen Fizz. This color is so pretty. Wow, look at that. I don't really find you don't need a lot of, I don't even need a liner with it. I mean, it's just so rich in color and it has a nice little point. It's shaped really nice and defined so you can get in there on your lip line real well. So pretty. Okay, so now let's finish up the eyes. So as always, I'm going to go in and brighten up my inner rim and I'm going to use, I'm going to grab this. This is by Pacifica. Intensity. With the inner rim, it's careful. You want something with a lot of intensity, but you don't want it to be too intense, right? And white and look a little crazy. I mean, maybe you do, if you like that. I like something kind of in between. I want it to be bright enough to where it's noticeable, but I don't want it to be like white. Okay, and then for under the eyes, I'm going to use this liner that I've been loving. I've been talking about it a lot. It's by Pixi. It's called Copper Glow. This is such a beautiful brown, like copper shade, and it's so soft. Like it goes on so easily. It's a really great like alternative to just like a standard matte brown. And then I'm going to go over that with shadow. And let's see, let's do something fun. I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to use the peach palette again, and let's do something fun. What should we do? Okay. Let's do, should I do that pink? Let's do that purple. I think that purple will be pretty. I don't want it to be too smoky. I want to just kind of control where that goes. I'm going to use this color. No, I'm not going to use Talk. I'm going to use Delectable, this purple right here. And I'm just gonna pop that right on top of that liner. Right there. And I like to kind of pull it up a little bit. I notice my eyes are kind of turning down, I think, because I'm getting older. But I noticed that if I pull my liner up a little bit like that, it really helps just kind of lift my eye a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to pop on some mascara, and then we will almost be done. I'm going to put a few finishing touches on this. I am going to put a little bit of this mascara on my natural lashes here, kind of boost up those falsies a tiny, tiny bit. I'm going to put a little bit on my bottom. Okay. Now a couple of things. So we could be done here, but I'm going to go in and add a little bit extra oomph. So I'm going to take my Hourglass Ambient Strobing Powder, and I'm going to use this brush by Morphe. It's the M501. And I'm going to pop this right here in my inner corner to brighten that up. Then I'm going to, I could use this, but I want to try a new product. Okay, so I'm surprised I picked this up. I'm not a big liquid illuminator girl, but this was too pretty to pass up on. It's the NARS, I think it's called Hot Sand Illuminator, and it is just so pretty. I talked about this in my haul video, but once you blend it out, it's so natural. Like, it's such a beautiful natural glow. So I'm going to use a little bit of this, and I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm going to like pop that here, right here on my temple, and the highest point of my cheekbone. And I'm also going to bring it around my brow a little bit. And bring a little bit on my nose. And then I think I'm even going to bring a little bit on my lip here. Let's see. Okay, so you just got to kind of work with it so it doesn't look like snot. Okay. And then if you feel like it's a little crazy, you can always just take a brush and kind of blot it a little bit. But there you go, you guys. This is it. Should I add a little gloss or leave? I think I'm going to leave. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's a little bit more, I don't know, I feel like this is a little bit more glamorous than I typically do on my channel. It's definitely a little bit more glamorous than I normally wear, but I love it because it's very still wearable. It's very neutral. The lip is definitely bold for me, but I love this lip. I think it's so pretty, especially with a tan and a white smile. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so before you leave. I will leave the little subscribe button right here. Just click that button and then you will not miss out on future videos. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.